Hello there. Today I will be ranking all of our players from who I think is most likely to win, to least likely, in a tier list. This will be based on how their game is looking going into next week, their potential long-term prospects, and how I think the edit is factoring into their chances to win or go far. This ranking is my own personal opinion, and will probably change massively from week to week, but these are my thoughts after episode 1. I also want to point out that tiers are not ordered in any particular way. The first boot of the season was unfortunately Morriah. She seemed to be a fun and energetic person to be around, so I thought she had a great chance of making it farther into the game than first out. Her biggest downfall in the premiere is not having as solid of a relationship with Elie and Jeanine as she thought, which led to her not realizing that she could potentially go home. Someone has to go home first, and sadly this time it was Morriah. D tier this week is for players who I see have very little chance of winning, and will likely leave the very game soon. First in the D tier is Dwight. The main reason that Dwight is in the D tier is primarily because he lost his vote at the next tribal council his tribe goes to. Losing your vote can be a big detriment to your game if others know about it, and it's even worse that it happened in a 6-person tribe. There is nowhere to hide in a tribe so small, and it seems like Dwight hasn't really been included in alliances on the tribe. This leads me to believe that Dwight could be an easy vote out if his tribe goes to tribal council, but time will tell. Next in the D tier is Justine. Justine had a relatively quiet premiere, and I'm not feeling good about her chances so far in the season. Justine is close to Noelle, but everyone on the tribe immediately realized that they are working together. Being in a known duo like this is not great for her, as it puts a target on both of their backs. If Noelle can successfully pull in Jesse, or someone else on the tribe, then she can potentially rise, but until then I don't feel great about her long term. Next in the D tier is Noelle. Noelle is in the D tier for the same reasons as Justine. Being in an early duo is not great for her game, and we haven't seen much else outside of that for her in terms of strategy within the tribe. Like Justine, Noelle needs to gain trust and solidify alliances in her tribe, or else it's looking doomed for her in the future. C tier this week is for players who I either see little chance of winning the game, or could leave soon. First in the C tier this week is Sami. Sami is someone that definitely has more to him than meets the eye, but the main reason he is in C tier is that I think he is a little behind in the game currently. He is clearly smarter than he seems, being the one to solve the tribe's savvy puzzle, and should physically perform at challenges, but in terms of strategy, he is not in control currently. He talked about his tribe having talked no strategy before the immunity challenge, despite other players such as Owen having talked before then. He was also behind on the plan to send Morriah home, instead pushing for Owen to go home when it was already too late. Sami needs to catch up with his tribe in strategy, or he might go home soon. Next in the C tier is Ryan. Ryan seems like a strong competitor in challenges, but I'm not sure how much he is going for him currently outside of his physical strength. While he did great in the sweat challenge, we haven't seen him talking much strategy, so like Sami I fear he could be behind some of his tribe mates in the game. However, with his physical strength I don't see him going home soon, which should give him enough time to adapt in the game. Next in the C tier is George. Gio is someone who could definitely look better farther into the game, but as it stands, he doesn't have the most going for him at the moment. Gio has shown he isn't the strongest in challenges, and strategically he is looking to be somewhat on the outs in his tribe. His closest ally seems to be Karla, who could have other priorities on the tribe with the women and James instead, which means he doesn't have many great options to work with. We will see if Gio can improve his position in the tribe or if his journey ends soon. Next in the C tier is Lindsay. Lindsay is a player who seems to have limited options at this point in the game. We know that Lindsay has started an alliance with all of the girls and James, but the players in her alliance have more options outside of Lindsay, which gives her less power in the tribe. Outside of her alliance, we know that Lindsay is someone who is willing to make moves in the future, so I am optimistic that she can improve her standing in the game moving forward given more time. B tier this week is for players who I think have a good chance to win, but have some flaws in their game that are holding them back, or are just overall middling. First in the B tier this week is Nneka. Nneka is someone who seems likable enough to be pulled into alliances that are being created, as we saw her in an alliance in episode 1. As it currently stands, however, Nneka might be in a solid spot on the tribe, but she doesn't wield all of the power, as someone like Jessie could turn on her trio with Cody, but there's no reason to believe that would happen currently. I'm interested in how Nneka moves forward from the first episode in the game, and if she can rise on the tier list. Next in the B tier is Cody. Cody is someone who is not afraid to play the game hard and fast, being the first to try and form an alliance on his tribe. I could also see him being underestimated by his tribe as someone who isn't playing the game and only there to have fun, which clearly is not the case. Cody's main problem is similar to Nneka, where he does not hold all of the power in the alliance, but he should be fine at least for the near future regardless. Next in the B tier is Gabler. Gabler had a very chaotic premiere episode compared to the rest of the cast. He risked his vote to gain an idol and openly declared that he would use his shot in the dark. Despite this, he was able to form a solid connection with Elie, and was not targeted as a result of the tribe knowing he has the idol from risking his vote. He will now be safe at the next tribal council, which automatically makes him safe in the short term. I am unsure of Gabler's long-term prospects, but his solid connection with Elie could help him moving forward. Next in the B tier is Jeanine. Jeanine is in a solid spot in her tribe, even after losing a potential ally in Morriah. Jeanine is Elie's closest connection in the game currently, which means she is most likely safe from leaving for the time being. Outside of that, we don't know much else about Jeanine's game currently, so we will see how she moves through the game moving forward. Next in the B tier this week is Owen. Owen is perhaps the most strategic player on his tribe so far, as he was the first to try and push strategy on the rest of his tribe mates. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like that strategy has really stuck so far. However, he was able to form a good enough relationship with his tribe to save himself from going home first, so he is doing something right. We will see how Owen's strategy evolves moving forward, and whether his strategy can land with his tribe. A tier this week is for players who aren't looking like they will go home soon, and have solid chances to win the game. First in the A tier this week is Jessie. Jessie is, in my eyes, the most strategically connected player on his tribe based on the first episode. He has multiple people in different alliances trying to pull him in and work with him, which puts him in a power position moving forward. If he can utilize his position well, I can see him making the merge easily with solid allies to back him up. However, we know he isn't necessarily used to this type of power, so we will see what he does moving forward. Next in the A tier is Cassidy. Cassidy is a player who on paper doesn't look like she is doing a lot, but I ranked her so high because of her strategy. Her strategy is to lay low and not be perceived as a massive threat, as she is self-aware enough to know that it could make her a target if she was playing overly strategically. If she can stick with her plan of laying low, I could see her being in a good position for a long time in the game. Last in the A tier this week is James. James is someone who has a lot of options on the tribe, as he was pulled into the trio of women for an alliance. He also has a strategy similar to Cassidy, where he is someone who wants to lay low and let others make moves and take each other out instead of him. As he said, he wants to be a king that's perceived as a pawn, which I think is great strategy moving forward. Based on this, I foresee him going deep into the game. S tier this week is for players who are in great positions, aren't likely to leave anytime soon, and also have a great chance to win in my opinion. First in the S tier this week is Elie. Elie had probably the biggest premiere episode of the whole cast, and this is because she was the strategic focal point of her tribe. She seems to have a relationship with everyone on the tribe, which gives her many options moving forward. She has Jeanine in her back pocket to work with, as well as a bond with Gabler to move forward with. Elie is in a great spot moving forward, and if she keeps her threat level down, I can see her going deep into the game. Last on the tier list in the S tier this week is Karla. Despite Karla's fears coming into the game, she has found herself in the power position on her tribe. Everyone around her wants to work with her, which gives her many options to work with if her tribe was to lose the next immunity challenge. Karla has the women with her already, and also has Gio and Ryan trying to bring her in as well, so she has to be careful not to burn someone too hard where she becomes a target, but if she can manage that, she will be in a great spot moving forward. make it through the next few votes, I think he has a great chance to win the game. There is my current tier list of who I think is most likely to win and make it far. Keep in mind that these are just my opinions, and I am unspoiled this season, and this is very subject to change. We will see if anyone else will be able to rise to the S tier, and I am interested to see how the rest of the season will shake out. Thanks for watching.